Greetings. Elder Blacklight, presenting to you today the root of today's corruption is Yaqub's grafted devils. Like I told you in other videos, you must go to the root. So the Christians, the black Baptists, the black Christians, even the Muslims, and all those that come to seek a home in America, either they are very ignorant or they are deceiving themselves under the guidelines that they don't know any better. And this we shall prove to you.
The Wild West was full of men who had needs, and more than a few women who satisfied them. A poem from the day puts it pretty clearly. The miners came in 49, the wars in 51. When they got together, they produced the native son. Denver, Cripple Creek, Rock Springs, Deadwood, Telluride, San Antonio, and Virginia City were just a few of the sin cities in the American West. Even the outposts in between took pride in the labels they wore: wicked, depraved, and immoral.
They'd boast about how many saloons they had, and they would talk about how the first 20 or so people buried in their cemetery died of violent deaths. These Western communities enjoyed characterizing themselves as rough and tumble places.
They were settled by doers, dreamers, and risk-takers looking to stake their claims in the wide-open West. The discovery of gold at Sutter's Mill in 1848 turned San Francisco from backwater to Babylon in short order.
So we're going to start from here. Saloons, they had whiskey, music, and prostitution, and pimping. So this is the root of America, corruption. They had that today. Saloons, sex trade, the sex industry. The game don't change. And as we said in the Cotton, we was playing a video about the Cotton Club, how black people started off at the Cotton Club, Prohibition days, big stars to the white people. Black people couldn't even get in the Cotton Club. Just the white man and the white woman, called them speakeasy. Gambling, prostitution. So now you got Vegas, you got the racetracks, you got the lotto. All these are industries now. Once again, this is Black Light. This is the God vision. God sees everything. And so, it's the day of judgment. Well, let's deal with the churches. Because the church act like they don't see nothing, hear nothing, and say nothing. Most churches now you hear now, a lot of them deals with homosexuality. A lot of them deal heavily in it. A lot of churches serve politicians. Politicians can come to the church and sway the church or minister to vote for them. Are politicians corrupt? Most of them is, because you got Epstein. If they're not corrupt in one way, they're corrupt in another, because they're a lot of them getting paid for nothing. The black ones too. They know they can't change that Caucasian mind. They've been trying to do it for decades, for centuries. And he's on the same course. So the black man and the black woman go to church. Church is the #1 business. They deal in sin and corruption. And if it wasn't no sin and corruption, the preacher wouldn't be preaching that sermon that he preached about going to heaven. And you got Muslims coming over here. Now Muslims, politics is different. Their banking system is different. They don't deal with pork. You know, their dietary is more healthier. But the ones who come over to America, they be selling pork. Even the Chaldeans, even the Christians, they say Allah too, you know, when they pray. Because that's the language. And then they sell pork, whiskey and wine. They supposed to be Christians. Now the Muslims, you know, they sell halal, but they live in a corrupt land, dealing with corrupt politics. Politics is not halal. The banking system is not halal, because the country is running off of fiat money, which deals in interest, usury. And the Quran speaks against that, against gambling. But yet and still, they're going to leave their country and come over here to the corrupt country. Why? You got to be corrupt too, because you ain't going to change the politics and the doctrine of this country. You know, don't think you're going to do it. That's why you have a hard time. You ain't having a hard time because of race, because a lot of Muslims come over here are Caucasian anyway. Iranians and Turkey and all them Caucasian. So all the corrupt people come over here because that's the American way, and America is getting wealthy off of trickery, wars, and drugs, and sex. Yes, sex. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for, I'm going to prove my point, how none of this was here before the Caucasian arrived. Now, do you think that even over in Africa, we had saloons and prostitution when we were captured and brought as slaves? My previous video, we were talking about sex farms, how the homosexual Caucasian got off on the black buck. They call it buck breaking. Buck breaking, B-U-C-K, buck. There's a lot of freakiness going on. And when the black man started to read the Bible, the Caucasian taught him how to read the Bible his way. He put a slant on it, put a swerve on it. And so now most of all black people are Christians. They're not doing the work of the one they call Jesus. He didn't do that work that y'all doing. Y'all doing corruption. Y'all think y'all praising God, but y'all praising that almighty dollar. Same with the Muslims. You know, they want to praise Allah, but they're praising the dollar. All of them. Now, if you want to win this war, you're going to have to walk the straight and narrow. Stay tuned once again. Don't nobody talk this way. They scared to go against the grain. I ain't.